heard something crazy, but it's okay. Welcome back to the Meriamarie podcast. I know it's been a minute. A lot has been happening. Normally it's because I'm just busy, but that plays a part in it. But I've also been dealing with a lot behind the scenes. So I decided, hey, let me just record an episode because it's been a minute. But before we get into the episode, I do want to start off with scripture just to set the scene and give us good vibes. So the scripture I'm going to be reading is Philippians chapter 2, verse 3. I'm going to read a little bit of it to y'all. It says, "Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves." All right. So I've been thinking and debating on what type of topics to talk about because the last thing I talked to you guys about is my mental health. So I can actually give you guys an update on my mental health. So my mental health has been improving. It honestly has. And for people that's wondering why I'm looking down at my phone for the topics. But yes, my mental health is getting better. Because for those who don't remember, in the last episode, I talked about my mental health and how mental health is so important because at the time, I wasn't taking really good care of my mental health. I just kept pushing it to the side because I was like, oh, I'll be okay. And then that caused me to have a mental breakdown for a whole week. And that's when I come to the realization that my mental health wasn't as good as I thought it was. So I've been working on that. I've been improving on that, and it's been getting better. And also, my Spotify listeners, they will be getting this upload first. Sorry to my YouTubers, but y'all will be getting it immediately after, but Spotify listeners will be getting this episode first. So, with that being said, because a lot has been happening. So, there's a lot of things I could talk about. I could talk about wellness. I could give advice. There's a lot of things I could talk about, but we're just going to talk about a little bit of everything today, honestly. So let's kind of go back to where I left off in the last episode. So going back to the episode, I tend to do this a lot. So we talked about my mental health and personal things I've dealt with. But I think there's a lot of things I left out. So I kind of want to talk about going even further back to another episode I did with my best friend. And we talked about relationships. I honestly, after that podcast episode and as the months went on, I thought about relationships and what else to talk about when it pertains to relationships. So me being me, and then speaking from personal experience, me being me, I noticed that I'm okay with taking my time. I'm okay with taking my time because when it comes to relationships, I'm not the type of person that wants to rush into things. Okay? That's just not me. And I've noticed that a lot of people, I won't say their names, I'm going to keep them anonymous, but a lot of the guys that I have talked to, I've noticed that they're quick to rush into relationships, and I get it. They know what they want, and so do I. But I also know that I'm not the type of person who just wants to willingly immediately get into a relationship. I'm the type of person who wants to know who you are as a person. And not only that, I want to know what your intentions are, what are your goals in life, like what are your aspirations, affirmations at that. Like, what are you looking forward to do in the present, but also in the future when it pertains to your life? And so I was like telling myself, I was like, it's okay to wait. I'm still okay with waiting, taking my time. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. But I've also realized why I am so private with my personal life, because the internet is wild, y'all. The internet is wild. I don't know if y'all been noticing, but like when it pertains to people's relationships, the internet has so much to say. Like they have so many opinions and they don't even know you, but yet they have so much to say about your relationships. And I'm like, I don't want to go through that. I refuse to go through that, because at the end of the day, even if a person has an opinion about my relationship or me in general, at the end of the day, I know who I am. I know what I got going on, so your opinion don't really matter to me. I mean, you can say whatever you want to say, but at the end of the day, you're not going to get a response, because I don't feel like feeding into that type of energy. I just don't. And so therefore I won't. That's another thing. I have done so much better at not feeding into the negative ticket. Oh my God, I can't talk today. Negativity. I was gonna say negative energy, but I'm just saying negativity. But I've like improved on not feeding into negativity, because I feel like it's just not worth it. It's really not worth it. And when negativity comes your way, we are so used to wanting to immediately react. But if we don't give them what they want, you can see the difference. You can truly see the difference. When you feed into the negativity, they feel like they won. They feel like they succeeded. But once you don't feed into it, and once you pay it no mind, there's really nothing they can do, to be honest, because they're where. Let me slow down my words. They were expecting a reaction, but once they don't get the reaction, it's like, dang, okay, what can I do now? And so I have truly just accepted, like, hey, at the end of the day, people are going to say whatever they want to say about me, but it's like, what are you gaining from it? What are you gaining from it? Like, over the years, heck, majority of my life, I should say, majority of my life, I have dealt with negativity and people speaking on me and speaking on my life. Now, mind you, oh, there's a plane. Now, mind you, a lot of these people don't know me personally. They don't. Still to this day, they don't. And they would say everything crazy about me. Like some things, I'm like, dang, when did I do that? Or wow, this is a shock to me. Like even I would be surprised about the things they would say. And I learned to just pay it no mind, because there were times where it would affect me and I would feel a way about it. But then it got to a point where all I could do was laugh, because I'm like, I know this is not happening. And it's up to other people to figure out if it happened or not. And if they choose to believe it, cool. If they don't choose to believe it, even better. And so once people figure out what's true and what's not true about you, it truly changes things. Because so many people believe so many things about me, and then when they realize it wasn't true, it's like, oh, okay, she's really not this person that she was made out to be. She's totally different from the stuff that I heard. That's another thing that's really important. Don't believe something someone says about a person you have never met, because their interaction with you could be totally different. So, like, for instance, say that this person and that other person, they don't get along at all. But if you meet them and your interaction is different with them and it's good, it's best to just stay out of what they got going on, because by all means, they're going to say what they're going to say about each other. But if you don't get that same interaction, I just highly recommend not even feeding into the drama and the negativity, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Which brings me to a good topic in question like that. So I'm gonna ask the question, but I'm gonna also answer it, and you guys can also answer this question as well. So the topic is gonna be, well, this first topic is gonna pertain to friendships. And the question is, when it comes to your friends having issues with each other, do you step in and pick a side, or do you stay neutral? That's my question for you guys, and I'm gonna answer it as well. So from my own personal perspective, because I've dealt with this many times, I choose to stay neutral. Here's why. Because if I don't stay neutral, one of them is going to immediately think I'm picking sides. And that has happened before. Even when I did stay neutral, actually. Because there was a situation. I didn't know what was going on. I just was seeing posts and them going back and forth. And I get a text asking if I see what's going on. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not fully understanding the situation, what's happening. And I'm also telling them both, hey, take these posts down, because I'm like, y'all are saying the craziest things to each other, and y'all are also saying it online. That's not good. Take the posts down. And I remember one of them said I was choosing a side and picking a side, and that I always take this other person's side. And that wasn't the case at all, because I'm like, I'm not taking anyone's side. Because at the end of the day, I don't know the situation, and I'm telling you both to take these posts down. And then I'm also telling you both that what y'all are doing is wrong. Because at the end of the day, y'all are friends. Y'all are friends. And what is these posts going to do? How is that going to help fix the situation? It's not going to help at all. It's just going to make it worse. And so that's why I was like, I choose to stay neutral. I choose to stay neutral, because if I pick a side, then the other friend is going to feel away. And then the other friend is going to feel well, no matter what happens, she's always going to pick my side. And that's not the case. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And I'm going to tell you that you're wrong. And so I just feel let them handle their situation. If it works out, it works out. If it don't, then it don't. But the last thing I want is for anyone to make me decide who to be friends with. If the situation has nothing to do with me, I have a right to be neutral. Y'all ain't gotta hang out with each other, but I can still be cordial with both, And so there's a lot of friendships that I had to be neutral on, and there's also a lot of friendships I had to drop. So that brings me to another topic when it pertains to friendships. So I'm not going to be on the friendships topic for too long, so I think this is going to be the last thing I talk about when it pertains to friendships. But I've had some interesting friendships, y'all. And tell me if anybody else has ever dealt with this before. So, everybody has their friend group or whatever. Has anyone else ever... Oh goodness, the neighbors upstairs. Oh my gosh. Hopefully y'all don't hear that, because otherwise, if y'all do, I'm gonna just have to edit them out in the background because all that stuff thing. But anyways, have y'all ever been in a situation where like you have your friend group, okay? You have your friend group. You've been friends for however many years or whatever. Everyone's cool with each other. But have you ever had this moment where there's always that one person that feels like they're being left out, but they're not the ones that's actually being left out? So this is another experience that I've dealt with. So again, I won't say any names, but there was a situation. There was a situation, and I had left. I had moved and doing school and whatever. And of course, when you move and the remaining friends that are still near each other, they get closer, right? As expected. So they get closer as expected, and I'm doing my own thing, but like I'm checking in every now and then. And the reason why I say every now and then, because like there's one of them that would actually answer, but another one, we just wasn't really talking as much because there was a situation before I had left. But we're not gonna get into that. And so I remember one time when I came back in town and we all agreed to hang out. The vibes were just off. Like the vibes were really off, and I was like, why am I here? I was like, why am I here? Because when, for instance, say it'll be us, we'll all be there. We'll be having conversations or whatever, and it's like, okay, cool. And then I remember this one time I came out the room because I had went to go in the room for like a few minutes to go get something. I come out, they're having a conversation or whatever, but the moment one of them saw me, they were like, stop the conversation. And I was like, okay, that's weird. The first time I was like, okay, it's fine. But like when it kept happening, I was like, okay, something's off. Like something's definitely wrong. Cause I'm like, why every time? Like I let it go the first time, but when it happens multiple times, I'm like, why are we acting like this? Cause at this point I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. Cause I'm like, obviously we don't want to have a conversation with me in a room. And come to find out, they didn't want me to know. Well, one of them was having a conversation with the other person about their relationship. And for some reason, when I would come in the room, they didn't want to discuss that in front of me. I never understood that, but I learned to just let that go. But I thought that was a little strange. And so I remember I confronted one of them about it, and then eventually I confronted the other person about it as well, because I was like, this is really weird. Like, I need to know, why are you doing this? And why, like, is there an issue with me? Like, is there a problem you have with me? Like, I want to settle it and get it out the way. And so, because even the other person was like, yeah, they thought that was weird as well. They don't understand why they wouldn't tell me and stuff like that. And it was just so many things that were happening. Like, there's so many things that I found out. Like, there were secret conversations being discussed about me, whether it pertained to a person I had became friends with that they didn't really know. Like, I get it, you don't really know them, but at the same time, I don't think it's cool to be weird or disrespectful to someone I'm friends with, considering the fact that I'm the type of person, like, when they have new friends and they want me to meet their new friends, I'm respectful, I'm friendly, and I want to meet them, And so that's how I always am. When it comes to meeting new people, I'm friendly, I interact, I say hey, I check up on them, ask how they're doing. Like, I'm fine with meeting your friends. But when the same thing is not reciprocated with me, and you're not wanting to meet my friends, and you're being disrespectful and talking about them behind their back, but also my back, because I had to find out from someone else that you were even discussing, that makes me feel a type of way. But that's not the only thing. That's one thing, but also discussing what goes on in my life. Again, I'm a very private person, but I don't like people discussing my relationships or what I got going on, because I don't need people like assuming what they think's gonna happen in my life with any relationship I got going on, whether it pertains to friendships, whether it pertains to family, whether it pertains to me possibly dating someone. I don't need anyone putting their input in. I don't need anyone making predictions about what I got going on or what they think would work or what wouldn't work. Because I feel like if it's not you, if it's not your life, why do you feel like you could have a say in what goes on in my life? Y'all get what I'm going with that? And so, yeah, I just been peeping a lot of things still to this day, and I just sit back and observe. And so this next topic is going to involve careers. So for anyone who is still in the process of figuring out what they want to do in life, whether it's school-wise, major-wise for college, and just career-wise in general, my best advice to you is to pray about it and go with your heart on what you want to do. So, because you never know what's going to happen, to be honest. And I say that from personal experience. So, I've had people... My nose is running. I don't even know why. Because I'm not sick. But I guess it's because it's hot and I'm just dealing with the... Anyways, my sinuses is acting up because of different weather. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. When it comes to careers, I've noticed that some people really don't care what you do career-wise unless it could benefit them in some way. And not all people do this. Let me just go ahead and put a disclaimer out. Not all people do this, but some people do. They don't really care about what you have going on personally unless it benefits them in a way. And the reason why I say this is because I have seen this and I am dealing with this in some kind of way. So, for instance, say there's this career path that you really want to do. And so let me give an example of a career. Let me think of one. Say you want to be an engineer, right? You're passionate about it. It's something you've been wanting to do for a long period of time. And you go to school for it and everything, and you're probably still in school, and people are asking like, how's that going, or when you're coming back, not because they miss you, but because they want you to help them. And there's nothing wrong with helping people. Let me just go ahead and put that out there. There's nothing wrong with helping people, but it can become an issue if that's all they're worried about. They're just worried about you helping them and benefiting for them, not benefiting for yourself, not being able to help yourself, but being able to help them 24/7 whenever they need it, because that's something they want. And it's not a mutual thing. And so you're doing that, and it's going to make you feel some type of way, honestly, because it's like, okay, I'm doing this career that I'm really passionate about, but that's all people are worried about, my career, not my well-being. And I think that's where a lot of people mess up at. Like, yes, it's okay to check up on a person, but if you're just checking up on them when it pertains to their career that they're pursuing and not them mentally and their well-being, that could hurt a person. That could really affect a person. And I've dealt with that. I've experienced that. I've dealt with people focusing more on my career path that I'm currently pursuing and my goal and what I'm doing for that. I get asked more about that than my own well-being and how I'm doing. I get asked more about that than actually how I'm doing in general. And it's kind of like, dang, is this all I am? Is this all I am now? Just my career? I'm not a person anymore. My career is me. And that sucks, because you could be doing other things outside outside of your career. And a lot of people focus more on that than they do you. And it's like, well, dang, what can I do now? I'm like, nobody focuses on me anymore. And so my advice to anyone who goes through that is, you will get through it. You will be okay. Just don't make your career your life. And the reason why I say don't make your career your life is because, by all means, it's great to follow your dreams. It is great. It's an amazing thing, because it's something you wanted for so long and you finally got it. And by all means, celebrate that. But it shouldn't be your whole life, because there's still things you can do. Like, still make time for yourself. Still do things outside of your work. Just don't make your work your whole life. Like, yes, you do have to get up and go to work, but it doesn't have to be your whole life. You could still do things outside of it. Like, you could still take trips, have a mental break day, like take breaks for your mental health, spend time with your friends or family. Like, still make time for yourself. Don't make your work your whole life. Like, there's still more out there for you. And that's what I've been doing recently, because those who know, I am all I still kind of am, but like, I've improved a lot. I'm all about like my goals and what I want to do, and when it pertains to my personal life, my work, all that. But I'm learning to have a balance. I'm learning to take breaks. I'm learning to balance it out. Like, okay, I have all this going on this day. What days do I have available for personal time for myself? You get where I'm going with that? And I feel like it was a lot harder for me to do that when I was younger, because when I was younger, I was still finding more things that I took interest in, and I'm like, okay, let me add this on, not realizing I'm just adding more stuff for me to do. But at the end of the day, it kept me busy and it kept me motivated. And even now, I have things that I do that keep me balanced and keep me motivated, but I schedule it out. I'm not doing it all at once. like I used to. So like now I have a balance for everything. And I feel like it's a lot better now because I can say, okay, well, I need this break for myself. Because before I really couldn't just say, well, I need this break. I just had to go to it because I wasn't the one doing the scheduling. I wasn't the one planning everything. Everything was already like scheduled out. Like, okay, we have meetings this day. We're doing this on this day. You got a tutor on this day. Like, hey, we have rehearsals this day. Like, there was a lot of stuff going on. I didn't get to schedule it out myself. I just had to go and do it and get it done. And that's what I did. But now, since I'm making my choices and my decisions on what works for me and the things that I want to do, I'm able to make a schedule and be like, hey, this is what's going on. And if I can't make it to certain things, I let them know ahead of time, like, hey, I won't be able to make it because I'm currently still in this other meeting. Or if I'm just not feeling up to it and I'm like, hey, like when it comes to school, I'm like, hey, I really love to be there, but I really got to focus on my schoolwork, you know, like just letting people know still like, hey, I want to be there, but I do have other important things I need to handle. So yeah. And just having that balance has meant a lot to me. And being stress-free, because it's been a while. Like this break I needed. I really did need. I haven't had a break in 2 years because it's always been nonstop. I was always doing something. And to have this break means a lot to me because it gives me time to reflect and relax for once. And so I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. And another thing I want to talk about is for any content creators, because I know there's content creators out there. Shout out to all the content creators. I honestly have always been into like content, but I'm not big on being a very popular person. I'm gonna just go ahead and say that out there. I still like to be like, I treat everybody like a normal human being, and that's how I want to be treated still. When it comes to content, you gotta be mindful of what you post. Let me just go ahead and say that. Let me just go ahead and drop the bomb on that. You gotta be mindful of what you post because nowadays, if you say anything that could be taken wrong out of pocket, it can get you in a lot of trouble. It can get you into a lot of trouble. And so it's important to be mindful of the things you say nowadays, especially on the internet. Like there's like a lot of things that just don't slide on the internet. And I've learned that. Well, I already knew that, but I've just noticed that a lot. But also another thing I've noticed, you know what? I'll tell y'all a story because I don't think I ever told y'all a story. So sorry if I bumped the mic. When it comes to collaborating, this is something I experienced. So I used to be an editor. I used to make edits for like just the edits because I love making edits. I would make edits because people request edits of their favorite singer and all that and stuff like that. So I used to do edits of like people's favorite singers and stuff like that. And I remember a person wanted to collab and do an edit, and I'm like, okay, cool. And so we're discussing like how the edit process is gonna work, who's gonna do what we want the edit to be like, the song that we're gonna use, the transitions, all that, right? So I'm doing my part of the edit, and I remember I asked them like, hey, what are you doing for the edit? Like, what parts are you doing? And they never did their part of the edit. They never did their part of the edit, so I had to do the edit for both of us. So I did the whole thing myself. And one thing about me, I'm a watermark in my edits. And so, yes, my name was on it, most definitely. And I'm like, even though I did this whole edit myself, I'm still going to like mention them, right? And so I mentioned them when I made the post. And they're like, our edit is so good, you know, all that good stuff. And something just said, something about this is not right. And I was right, because they posted our edit. I can't even say our edit. They posted my edit because I did the work. They posted this edit that was supposed to be ours, right? And I'm thinking, okay, when they post it, they're gonna probably add their name on there or whatever. No. They took my name off the edit. Like, my name was not even on there when it got posted. Like, my name was gone. And I'm like, I worked hard on this edit. I spent all the time working on this edit. I did the transitions. I had to get the clips. I had to pick the music. I did all that myself. So yes, rightfully so, my name should be on this edit. And they took my name off the edit. And y'all want to know something? Not only did they do that, but their page got popular. But yet my page constantly got shadow banned. And I'm just looking at this like, this is crazy, because I'm like, they did not do the edit. I did. But yet their page is blowing up. But yet mine was thrown in the shadows and was getting shadow banned. And people wasn't really seeing none of the content that I was making and that I worked hard for. So I'm like, okay. And I'm like, at this point, I was like, I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna just keep working and doing what I can. And there was another incident that someone had with them, and I saw it, and I was like, yeah, because I was like, I had a situation with them where they took my edit that was supposed to be a collab, and they took the credit for it, and now they're getting a lot of heat for it. They are also pretending to be a celebrity. And mind you, this celebrity is deceased, so may they continue to rest in peace. But they were pretending to be the celebrity. Like, they would make posts saying like, here's a clip of me on tour and stuff like that. Like, they were very adamant, like, yeah, this is me. And everybody was getting on to them about that and stuff like that. And so I think now they're a fan page, but yeah, they don't do edits anymore, as they should, because you weren't doing the work. You were taking credit for the work. And so that situation happened. And I did do other collabs with other editors. I would send in my edit and they would send in theirs, and we would put it together and post. And then there was also a hashtag that I did with another editing page. Shout out to them. We had this hashtag on TikTok that had got over I think the hashtag had got over like 5 million views. I don't know how many views it has now, but I remember the last time I had checked, I think I had checked that like last year or 2 years ago. It had like over 5 million views, so it probably has more now. But I remember coming up with that idea to do a hashtag for editors, because I'm like, I was on there editing way before it became what it was. I was editing on there since the Musical.ly days. So like, I was editing a long time. And so I was saying like, hey, I'm an editor, you're an editor. Let's give more people who actually want to do edits a chance. And that's when we came up with the hashtag. I think the hashtag is still available. Let me Let me pull it up real quick. But yeah, we came up with the hashtag, and the purpose of the hashtag was to give other editors a chance. So if whenever they did an edit, they could use our hashtag so other people could see their edits, and also interact and meet new editors as well. Like, that was our whole purpose, and it worked out really well. I'm thankful it happened. So yeah, so it's the 90s angel edit. So there was like over 290 posts, and so there was so many people. Normally it tells you how many, it used to tell you how many like views the hashtag has, but I don't know if y'all could see. Hopefully y'all could see. I don't know how to focus it on my laptop, but yeah, hopefully y'all could see. So like, you could see like all the 90s edits. Like, you see a lot of Aaliyah edits, but yeah, there was like a lot of different edits and editors. Like, I really wanted to give people a chance to showcase their edits. And even when I celebrated us getting the 5.3 million views, I remember I did an edit for that, and I included every person who did an edit. I included their edits in that video because I wanted to let them know, like, hey, I'm thankful for all that you guys have done and all y'all done for these hashtags. And so did that, but I unfortunately was still dealing with the shadow ban. I was getting shadow banned like crazy. At one point my whole account got banned, and still to this day I never understood why that happened, because I was like, I never posted anything that was crazy or wild, and they didn't even have a reason or a valid reason as to why they had banned my account. I got it back. Trust and believe, I got it back. I fought hard for my account because I'm like, I worked hard for my account, and there was no reason for me to get shadow banned because I did nothing wrong. And then at that time, that's when people were starting to finally see and recognize my page. And what happened? They banned me. And so after I got my account back, I got shadow banned a lot. I still get shadow banned still to this day. So, but I appreciate people that still support my edits. I haven't made an edit in a while, but I still thank everybody who shows me love. Everybody still shows me love to one of my edits. I think this one is going to be one of my favorites. So it's like an Outcast edit. I'm not going to play the music because it's going to get copyright, but YouTube's going to see this. I don't know if Spotify, if y'all going to see this, but this is the edit. It's an Outcast edit that I did, and I love it so much. I really do. I wish I could play the music for y'all, but I don't want to risk copyright, you know. But if y'all want to see it, y'all can see it on my TikTok. But yeah, I did this edit. Joy. It's all about nostalgia to me. I love anything like nostalgia and memories, because most people may not know about it, and therefore I want to showcase it. And that was my whole purpose. And so I stopped editing, and then that's when I said, you know what, let me go back to YouTube. And at first I wasn't really doing anything on my personal channel. For those who know, and for those who's been around for a long time, you know, I was originally doing the Beautiful Souls. I wasn't really doing anything on my personal channel for real. And so Beautiful Souls happened a long time ago. When did we do our first video on there? Yeah, Beautiful Souls happened 7 going on 8 years ago. Yeah, I think it'll be going on 8 years. Yeah, this year it'll mark 8 years of when the Beautiful Souls channel started. And I was on there. But I haven't been on there recently, to be honest. My best friend still uploads on there, but I haven't been on there because I started focusing on my personal channel, but then also because I had moved, so we weren't able to do videos together. And when I started focusing on my personal channel, of course, I started with the vlogs and all that, but I was very adamant about having a podcast. So let me just put that out there. It was always been my dream to have a podcast. Ever since I was a kid, I always said, I want a podcast because I know me and I know I have a lot to say and I want to be able to do it my way. And so why not have my own podcast? And that's what I did. And that's what we're doing. Okay. And I was nervous about it. I didn't know how my podcast was going to go. And that's why I want to say thank you to everyone who motivate me to just keep going with my podcast and to just put it out there. And shout out to Christine, because Christine was the one who was like, just do it. So I appreciate Christine. She's another content creator. She's amazing. I love Christine. And she was like, just do it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna just do it. Because my mind was like, just do it anyways. But I was like, if people really want to see this, then by all means, I'll do it. And so just to be able to see the support from everybody in my podcast and how they could relate to the topics that I have discussed, my stories I have shared, it truly means a lot to me. And I hope that I continue to make you guys proud with this podcast. So, with that being said, I have been working on something. I can't say what it is. I keep telling y'all that I have been working on something, and when it comes out, it comes out. But I think you guys will really like it. And when the time comes, that will come. But I will share with you all that I have been really getting into a lot of stuff that I am very passionate about. So, of course, I've gotten back into sewing. I love sewing. And I can't wait to one day showcase the stuff that I've been making or that I have made in the past when it comes to sewing. And then there's also, I don't know when I'm gonna do it. I gotta figure out when everybody's available. But there is a new series that I want to start. It's not going to be gaming related or podcast related. It's going to be its own series. And I can't wait to showcase that. I just got to figure out when everyone's available. And when it happens, I will announce it. Because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think you guys will enjoy it as well, because you get to see a different side of me and a different side of people who participate in it, you know? So, yeah. But this episode is really just a chill, honest, raw and uncut vibes of what's been happening and what I've been seeing and noticing and what I wanted to share with you guys. So I enjoy making content for you guys. I'm enjoying doing all the things that I do. I'm following my dreams. I'm an ambassador for a skincare line. Shout out to Nizma Skincare. And then also for a clothing line. Shout out to Boohoo. All of that is in my description on my YouTube if you guys want to support, and y'all can use my codes to get you 15% off on either one of those, on skincare or some clothes. So by all means, go support your girl. And just being able to do something that I always wanted to do, because I've always been big on skincare. I've always been big on fashion. And while I'm able to do those, I'm still pursuing my main goal for my career. And so just be able to do all three things means a lot to me. And just having the support and people cheering me on, that's all a girl could hope for and ask for, in all honesty. So whatever happens next, happens next. And with that being said, there's really not much to say. I just wanted to get an episode out for you guys, and I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Maybe the next episode could be questions for me, honestly, because I don't think I've had you guys ask me questions for a podcast episode. So the next episode could definitely be you guys asking me questions, and I just give you the answers. So with that being said, I hope you all enjoy this episode. This is episode 8 of the Meriamarie podcast. I'm your girl, Meriamarie. I will see you all next time. My Spotify listeners, make sure you like this episode and make sure you follow the Meriamarie podcast. And for everyone on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe this podcast. And let me know what you guys want to see next, what you would like for me to talk about next on my podcast. Because at the end of the day, this is not just any podcast. This is the Meriamarie podcast, okay? Because you love to see it. I love to see it. So you love to see it. All right? Peace and love to you all. Blessings to you all. I hope you all have an amazing day, night, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world. Stay blessed. Stay motivated. Always follow your dreams. Follow your heart and never give up on what you want to achieve in life. I love you all. It was great seeing you all. And it's great to be back. And officially welcome back to another episode of the Meriamarie podcast. I will see you all next time, and I will see you all for the next episode. Mwah. Peace and love.
Topping up the mess, drop it in the water, let the daughter find an image with the rest. She'll be learning how to breathe, spinning through identity, reveal another pretty little scheme. Save her mind.